Today I'm going to show you how to take your custom fonts and make them accessible in all your Tinkercad projects. So let's get cracking. This is Tinkercad.com. It is 100% free and it is the absolute easiest way to learn computer-aided design. You can simply choose sign in with Google. We can create 3D designs, circuits, and code blocks. I'm going to jump to the designs right now. All of our designs are stored to the cloud. You can leave your designs private or you can make them public. You can also use the wicked cool shared link feature. Today I'm going to show you the feature I want to highlight by hitting create new 3D design. I like to start by naming projects. I'm going to really quickly call this font fun. When we click down here, it's automatically saved. Real quickly, if you have not used Tinkercad before, this is my day one playlist. Tinkercad allows you to drag items out. As you can see, we've got some fun text here, but I'm going to show you how to get some more epic text and how to make it always available in your creations. Check this out. Brand new font called Bluey font. When I bring it out, it is first grouped, but if I ungroup it, I now have this custom font, which is the Bluey text. Notice I had named it, and I can change it to say whatever I want. So it allows us to have our custom fonts in the Your Creations and have them be editable. Bang! To get to the template, I'm going to have you visit my website, HLModTech.com. I have got a page dedicated to Tinkercad with tons of awesome categories, day one favorites, useful starters, but today we want the Tinkercad Essentials and the HLModTech Digital Library. This is a Google Sheet that is always up to date. I add stuff here all the time. When you visit the link, it's a live link, so you've always got my latest version. Of course, do make sure you check out all the levels, tons of amazing projects that'll help you become better as a Tinkercad designer. I also want to highlight the shortcuts. These include the sketch shortcuts, which you will not find on the Tinkercad site. Now we're bouncing back to level 1 because today we're talking about text. Now, before I start today's tutorial, I do want to highlight this is where you should really start if you're just learning Tinkercad. It includes all the basics so you've got a good foundation of how Tinkercad text works. And then I do want to highlight that this is how you make your own custom fonts. This is the technique the user used to bring in all the custom fonts that we're checking out today. Of course, that leads us to the awesome free fonts template. You can simply click on the link and it takes you to the template by whoasocool 3D. Please visit them down here and give a reaction. Of course, we have both set the design to copy and tinker, so remember the golden rule of Tinkercad: give a reaction before you copy and tinker. When you click the copy and tinker button, you get an exact copy of my project. Of course, there are lots of notes up here, and then in each one of these fonts, I have given you the font name. That's because when you use the custom font text, you lose track of what the font is unless you have a note like here. So if I change this to say something fun like hello and press enter, notice the red lines mean Tinkercad is computing, and then you just need to wait patient for it to show up. Now I'll warn you, this is a custom tool, so some fonts are great, some fonts had errors, some will do caps in lowercase, some will only do caps, some do not have punctuation. And of course, I want to remind you again, we really need to thank whoasocool, and you can find their project right here and give them a reaction as well. So let me show you why this is so fantastic. You can click on your font, switch to Your Creations, hit Create Shape. It shows this is Army. I'm going to simply call this Army. And then I'm going to put the word font so I can keep track of fonts. And then the new setting is Allow Editing. When you hit Save Shape, it shows up right here. And then the next time you bring this out, notice if you're in a brand new project, this is what I showed you when we started. I brought out the Bluey font, which was right down here. Now I click on this and I ungroup it and I can say hello. And of course, right beside it, I will put world. This is a good check to see whether it'll do capital letters and punctuation. Notice you have to press enter and wait patiently for it to snap. bang. And it's fun to see how the two different bits of text look side by side. Now, I do not know if these are free for commercial use. You'll have to do some digging to find that out. Of course, you can definitely use them for all of your Tinkercad projects. They would be fantastic for projects like this keychain that I demonstrate here, or the fantastic word illusions. Of course, I will have links to these in the description, or you can use the bit.lys on the screen. Or any other project you create you want to add some custom text to. As I wrap up, of course, I want to say thank you to whoasocool 3D. Makes my day when a Tinkercad user comes up with an awesome design and then shares it, copy and tinker so that we can all gain the skills or use the cool parts that were shared. Of course, I want to remind you to make sure you check the links up above for all the fantastic things you can make with this skill. Once you have the fonts, you can bring them anywhere and you have the opportunity to make all your designs a little more epic. Of course, I do also want to thank everybody that supports me via YouTube memberships. Don't forget there are 3 different levels of support starting as low as $5 a month. With any level of support, you get early access to videos. Also, make sure you pay attention for those members-only posts. A massive shout out as well to everybody that is part of my Patreon. Love how that group is growing. We are past 500 members. It is a fantastic free messaging area where you can ask questions, post designs, gain skills. Of course, you can learn more with the bit.ly up above or the link in the description. Finally, friends, I want to thank you for watching. Don't forget every time you like, hype, share a video, add a comment down below, or click subscribe, you're helping HLModTech get just a little bigger, which absolutely makes my day. Friends, have a glorious day, and keep tinkering.